Mark Mayfrit of EI went on a congressional field trip at the end of August. I didn't get to watch the green-haired chief hacking officer deliver his written testimony to a retiring congressman, but EI later published his riveting thoughts on computer security. I finally got around to reading it. Mayfrit bragged about his exploits as a genius prepubescent hacker, and he explained what led him to retire at the age of 17 to launch a computer security firm. I hope every member of Congress, not just the retiring ones, will read his mesmerizing autobiography. But I digress. Mayfrit holds a grudge against FBI's National Internet Infrastructure Protection Center, or FBI NIPSI, for snubbing him and his company during the Code Red media circus. EI's chief hacking officer pouted in his written testimony. Over the next few days in July, we worked closely with NIPSI to explain to them how Code Red worked and to make sure they had all of the information that they needed to release an alert. We talked with NIPSI between July 18th and July 19th to help them further understand Code Red and the impact it was going to be having on the White House web server and the Internet as a whole. We received a phone call on July 19th from Erkin Chase of the FBI, whom Vince Rowe, our contact at the time to NIPSI, had introduced us to. Erkin Chase asked if Ryan Perme and I would be able to send his superior an email within 10 minutes that would detail the effect Code Red would have on the White House's web server, the Internet itself, and what they could do, if anything, to keep the worst from happening. NIPSI released their Code Red worm alert on Thursday, July 19, 2001. The conversation with Erkin Chase was probably one of the last communications we had with NIPSI for reasons unknown to us. In a last-minute effort, Microsoft, NIPSI, FedCirc, ITAA, CERT, SANS, ISS, and ISA came together and released a press release on July 29, 2001, stating that Code Red was going to return and emphasizing that all vulnerable systems needed to be patched. A large press conference was held, and EI Digital Security, despite significant involvement at the beginning, was not included or recognized. I'll give Mayfrit high marks for pouting only as much as he did. FBI NIPSI didn't just snub EI, they plagiarized the firm's investigative research, and I don't make this claim lightly. They took advantage of EI because the firm owned Code Red's initial analysis and any media exposure the analysis might create. Hoover's gun-toting cybercops have a nasty habit of plagiarism. I sometimes wonder what the P stands for in FBI NIPSI. However, I must stress an important caveat. EI willingly gave pro bono support to the agency. Plagiarism by definition occurred when stepmother refused to let Cinderella attend the Code Red ball. One source, with questionable political motivations, insists FBI NIPSI knew from the start they wouldn't acknowledge EI for their help. I don't buy into this accusation because it implies those G-men operate by more than the seat of their pants. We're talking about a knee-jerk group who can't even safeguard their own computers. Hoover's men don't actually engage in plagiarism. It just seems to happen as they run around with their CPUs chopped off. In EI's case, number one, FBI NIPSI desperately needed some good PR when Code Red came along. If they acknowledged EI's help, it might give the impression of clueless agents riding on Mayfrit's coattails. The agency needed to look strong. Number two, Mayfrit's green hair and clownish job title would imbue the unprecedented press conference with a circus atmosphere. The media would quite literally focus on him instead of on FBI NIPSI's funeral director. The agency needed the limelight. Number three, too many other companies wanted a piece of the Code Red pie, and they all agreed to play by FBI NIPSI's rule book. Mayfrit strikes me as a young boy naive enough to misunderstand the rules of politics. Rule number 19, deserving little boys don't always get pie. Ron Dick, funeral director, FBI NIPSI. It has a nice ring to it. EI got shafted, but Mayfrit's written testimony claims a government-run organization like NIPSI has the best chance of building a successful central alert system for the Internet because it would not have the financial motivations of a corporate entity. One might suppose he made this assertion because retiring congressmen expect to hear it, but I'll give Mayfrit the benefit of the doubt. A less mature guy with a grudge could easily say, like CERT, instead of like NIPSI. Mayford's appearance at a throwaway meeting leads to some interesting questions. Does FBI NIPSI feel like EI got their 15 nanominutes of congressional fame? Did the agency toss it to Mayford as a bone? Did they turn to ITAA lobbyist Harris Miller, the power broker behind Congress's cyber throne, and say, let the green-haired kid testify somewhere as a favor to us? Most important, does Mayford naively think he got his 15 nanominutes of congressional fame? I don't know the answers to these questions. I wish I did. A college student can't justify plagiarism, but a cop shop like FBI NIPSI might find enough in Code Red to excuse their actions. I mean, let's face it, they really did believe it would cause the meltdown of the internet, and they really did need to move fast after procrastinating for more than a week, and they really did want to avoid looking like circus clowns, and they really did try to, well, I'm sure FBI NIPSI can rationalize what they did to EI. Who knows? Perhaps they viewed it after the fact as a case of intellectual eminent domain. In the patriotic world of computer security, the needs of the internet outweigh the needs of the few. Or the one. I'm Rob Rosenberger for vMyths. That's VMyths.com. Truth about computer virus hysteria. Be there or be scared.